Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR Today. It's Tuesday morning. It's July 14th, 2020. Dave, White Castle Day is coming up soon. I'm getting excited. I hope they open up the lobby by then. We'll have to do drive-through. But Dave Herro joining me on a Tuesday morning, as he does always. Good morning, Dave.
Morning. How can you talk about White Castle before you have breakfast?
Because White Castle is amazing. Now, granted, I only do it once a year, but it's amazing that day of the year.
Only once a year.
Well, for those that don't know, the show obviously taped in Milwaukee. There is only one White Castle that stands in the entire state of Wisconsin, located in Kenosha, just north of the Illinois border. Me living in Appleton, it's about 2 hours away. I love White Castle. The grocery store stuff doesn't compare. So what I do is I make a yearly trip and just go get some White Castle. I do it once a year. It's fun, something to do, and then I move on.
So you make a 2-hour drive to get
I do more.
The size of an Oreo cookie.
Yeah, but I get 24 of them. But I do more. I mean, all my family's in Milwaukee. Like, you know this. You're from the Milwaukee area. I'm from the Milwaukee area. Damien's from the Milwaukee area. All the family's down there. We come down. We stay for a couple days. I make my trip out there, meet the boys out there. We have a couple Tic Tac burgers or 24 of them, whatever you want to say. And, it's something to do.
Sweet. Well, there you go.
Working on getting White Castle to sponsor this segment, and we'll see how that works out. And I sent off a little side conversation here. Dave, you had asked, or I asked you, hey, is there any way maybe our friends at Collar and Elbow could get me that White Castle t-shirt? You sent me some info. I sent the info. I haven't heard anything yet. I'm hoping that becomes a thing. So I would love to wear a Collar and Elbow White Castle style shirt.
They have one? I thought it was a Waffle House.
They have the Waffle House. I suggested the White Castle one.
Oh, I gotcha. I was like, wait, they dropped a White Castle gimmick? I'm like, I didn't know that.
No, if they did, my God, I'd have, every color that it came in.
Yes. All 17 of them.
So what we're really doing, Dave, is we're stalling because it's been a real hard deal.
You're stalling because now you're thinking about having a hamburger for breakfast when we should be talking about that 180 minutes of wrestling.
Are you doing math in the morning too? We got to knock that off.
Yeah, that's a challenge. My head's still sore. Not hungover sore, just sore from processing everything we watched last night.
Well, let's start with the good.
I'm trying to find the silver lining. The silver lining is always going to be Zelina Vega because she was wearing silver last night and it lined everything fantastically.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the main. I enjoyed watching Sasha and Bailey against the Kabukis.
They gave 30 minutes to them, not for the match, but for the whole segment. I was surprised they gave them that much.
They didn't have much else to put on, so don't be surprised. I mean, there's not much else to do.
But it seems like last night's show was better than the previous 3 or 4 weeks we've seen.
Okay.
It just
the go home, technically. It's the go home.
Well, yeah, it is. But they just seem like they did a way better job of getting over certain talents to make certain people mean more. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not a fan of having them setting up Randy Orton versus Big Show. It's like, I don't want to see that. Right. Ricochet is getting some new life pumped
Richard?
in. Yeah, Richard. R-Truth has been fantastic. Randy Orton has been fantastic. I'm a little concerned about Ric Flair. He seems like he's aging way too fast.
Right in front of us, too. Literally right in front of us.
Yes. Yeah. So that makes me a little bit nervous. But it was great to see Aleister Black kind of stand on his own 2 feet and not just be the bodyguard for Ray and his kid.
Let me ask you this, though. Aleister, I mean, he went right for Murphy again. Do you feel like he's in his comfort zone? Because didn't he have like a 4-month program with Murphy before?
Well, but here's the thing, because the business is Kevin Owens against Seth Rollins last night. So we can't go after Rollins because Rollins also has Ray.
Right.
Nobody has Murphy. So you got to go for Buddy Murphy because he's the only guy that's not really in anything. And, Buddy Murphy and Aleister Black, every time they've been in the ring together, have had fantastic matches.
Yeah, they have. Like I said, they had a 4-month run where they were back and forth with each other.
Yeah, and it was good. And then, as much as I hate seeing the same matches over and over again, I don't have a problem watching those two because they're very physical. They tell a good story. And every time they've been in the ring, it's been solid.
You mentioned Kevin Owens, and I was going to listen for a spot to bring it in. It's a perfect segue. Let's jump off and let's talk Sports Illustrated. Now, you said that you may have caught a piece of it. I mean, you know a little bit about it, but I didn't read the whole
Well,
thing, but I read
first
enough.
of all, our buddy Arda Ocal is the guy that did the interview. He's sat in
Oh,
for us a couple times on the Pro Wrestling Report over the years. So
fantastic.
Arda is a fantastic human being, and I saw bits and pieces of it. But yeah, I mean, it was a good piece on Kevin Owens and what he's doing to try to make things a little bit safer in the
Yeah.
PC.
So, I mean, it had looked like, and I got Kevin Owens from you,
Yeah.
in exchange for Jinder Mahal, who became Karrion Kross in our
Yes.
PWR draft. And we've got a video coming up this week as well with a preview for Extreme Rules Horror Show. But Kevin Owens had taken a little time off after WrestleMania and said he had to rest up and, heal up. And then he came back and then he was gone again. Now, apparently it's his wife's grandfather or wife's father
Mm-hmm.
that had passed from COVID. And, what I really pulled away from this one, Kevin's a great guy. And he says, I don't do stuff without my wife. And I'm not going to try to, go out and do this job and then come home and make her uncomfortable in any way. I love and appreciate that. I absolutely love and appreciate that. So what he did is he kind of went to Vince and said, look, Vince, I'm not comfortable being here. I'm going to be completely honest. And the safety protocols are kind of lacking. What can we do? To get it going. Vince said, what do you want to do? He goes, the masks have to be mandatory and let's start doing fines. I swore on SmackDown once and you'll find me. So, the fine kind of leaned into me and let's do it. And Kevin's back.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. And you know what? Good for, and here is a prime example is if you're not happy with certain things, don't just take your ball and go home. Go and talk about it and figure out how to fix it. And that's what they did. I mean, everyone has a different take or opinion or how they feel about the whole thing. But at the end of the day, we're just being respectful for everyone's wishes. And that's what, Vince McMahon and Kevin Owens could, they could meet in the middle on something. Yeah. And I'm glad they did because you know what? Raw is a better show with Kevin Owens on it.
Yeah. And, I love that two people came to common ground and worked something out. If we were to be on the opposite end of something like that, for me, as an example, I try not to hurt anybody. So if I find something I'm doing is getting in somebody else's way, I'll stop doing it or move it to a different area. So it's not in that person's way either. I mean, I know that you're very caring and considering as well. So speaking of masks and speaking of wrestling, I wanted to segue a little bit. You had a big show this last weekend, right? Ashpin?
I did. We had the Ashpin Firemen's Picnic Show. It's been an annual event for me for the last, I want to say 22 years. It's where I had my very first match where I was in a battle royal. Mm-hmm. And it was pretty sweet. Cal was on the show.
Cal's looking jacked. Holy smokes.
Yeah, trust me, man, my grocery bill has gone up a ton since.
I hope you're buying in bulk.
Oh my gosh. We go through so much meat. It's just
no insane. Wonder he built that grill for you.
Exactly. That 6-burner grill he got me for Father's Day. I use it every day for him. So
wow.
But it was a great show. It was a lot of fun. The lovely Linda Kay was our ring announcer that actually wound up getting involved in the show.
Wow.
And she had her very first professional wrestling match.
And she had an arm bar.
Yeah. Well, Linda is trained in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I don't think you knew that. Right? Yeah. And she grabbed
because I talked to her last night.
She
yesterday morning.
And she got a hold of Val Malone and put her in the Becky Lynch disarmer, and Val Malone tapped pretty quickly. So Linda Kay and former TNA Impact Wrestling star Marche Rocket defeated Cody Jacobs and Val Malone. And I was very excited for Linda. She was super happy. She was on cloud 29, that far past cloud 9.
Yeah.
And you know what? She's always wanted to do that. And it was the right time. It was the stars were aligned, and she shined. Yeah. And she looks great. I mean, she's a badass. I mean, she is legit badass right now. I've never seen her so fit and just so precise. And she was killing it. I was very proud of her.
That's awesome. I'd want to make that segue, and I wanted to talk about that too. And I kind of segued into how did the show go? Because, again, there's not a lot of shows going on right now. How did you handle the whole thing?
I'll be honest. I was nervous because it's my first show that I've promoted since February 22nd.
Yeah.
So basically it's been 5 months, if we're going to round up the days, it's been 5 months. And I thought for sure it would have been canceled or postponed, but it was a show for the firemen. So I'm thinking, well, there's a lot of first responders here. I didn't understand if they want to do it or not, but we did, and I made sure that my talent. We checked temperatures. We had lots of soap. We had hand sanitizer,
Okay, good.
and I kept everyone to themselves on the show. And then we made sure that everything was roped off on the way to the ring. It was about a 10-foot aisle where, the wrestlers weren't, we're not high-fiving and we're not hugging the fans. And
Right.
I made sure that the front row of seats was between 10 to 12 feet away from the ring. So there was distancing from us as the talent. The fans, not so much, but I can't control that. You know what I mean? All I can control is how the Great Lakes Championship Wrestling performers
Yep.
act, and I was very proud of them. They did a great job. They went out there. It was an outdoor show. It was 85 degrees and sunny. So rumor has it that COVID doesn't survive in sunlight. So I believe we're fine.
So all future GLCW shows will be in between June and September in the afternoon.
Yeah, exactly. And after every match, I bought this industrial wrestling mat cleaner, and I believe it was like $75 a gallon.
Wow.
And I bought it a while ago. And after every match, we sprayed down the ring, the turnbuckles and the canvas and whatnot. Not the ropes as much as we should, because I don't want people to slip off the ropes, even though it was hot enough where it dried up pretty quick.
Yeah.
But everybody was safe. Everybody was good. And now we're all just gonna, I hate to say it, hope for the best and hope we can get another show, hopefully in September, because that's my next scheduled date is going to be end of September with the WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley doing a special meet and greet for me. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And again, you had said it, the crowd is going to do what the crowd does. The only thing you can do is try to put yourself in the best possible position. So
exactly. And I before the show started, I went out there, I talked to everybody, the fans on the microphone, in the middle of the ring. It says, hey, listen, crazy times, we're going to give you guys the best show we can possibly give you. All I'm doing is just asking everyone to respect everybody's wishes and their beliefs, because, there's so many different thoughts and opinions on this, and not everybody is right and wrong. I think everyone understands that, hey, let's just be respectful of what people are going through and what they think, because at the end of the day, we're all in this freaking disaster together. You know what I mean? So let's just make the best of it.
Well, I'm glad it went off well. And, again, September with Mickles, Mr. Mankind. Hopefully we'll get another show off with that as well.
Absolutely.
I know I segued off, but I'm going to go back into Raw, and I want to talk Extreme Rules, the horror show. Mm-hmm. They really are. I mean, because Seth Rollins said it like 17 times in a row. They really are telling us that they're going to rip an eye out between Seth and Ray. How is this going to work, Mr. Promoter, Booker Man?
I have no clue. I think it's the dumbest match stipulation in the history of match stipulation.
Wait. I've been watching some WCW lately. This is worse than Judy Bagwell on a forklift match?
Absolutely. You know why it is? Because if they're saying someone's eye is going to get ripped out, what do they do 6 months from now? Is it magically going to reappear? Are they going to call Rocket the Raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy and have him grab one of those glass eyes? And
I hope they wash it first.
It's just like, how? How can you? How? It makes no sense.
Yeah,
you can't. And this is the problem I'm having with pro wrestling right now. It's like there's no reason for that. If anything, what they could have done? They could have done the Rick Martel Jake Roberts match, put both guys with the see-through black hoods on them, and let them try to fight each other that way. But how do you rip out somebody's eye and A, tell people that it's real, and B, explain to the kids that love Rey Mysterio that he's ripping somebody's eye out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
and if you insult our intelligence and give us a fake eyeball, that's even worse.
Yeah, we really are. And this is the discussion I had last week on Primetime with the associates on Saturday. I hate cinematic stuff.
I know.
I think it's bad business. And I understand why they do it, because they don't want to have every match in an empty warehouse in the PC, but you're just insulting everyone's intelligence. And I am someone that for the last 23 years, this has been my livelihood. And I understand that things change and times change and everything changes. But how can I honestly sit there and say, yeah, it's not fake?
Right.
I can't do that.
It's a
So,
tough one. Yeah. And I wanted to ask you this. This is just me being the nerdy. So I consider you to be in the business, the professional, right? Honestly,
mhm,
while I'm an associate and I do this and I've been doing this for how many years now, I'm still a fan.
mhm.
I consider myself coming from the fan perspective, right? If our truth is the 24/7 champion, and while the suspension is going on that he's in a match, once the match is over, shouldn't Randy Orton just lay down and take his belt?
Why would Randy Orton want that? Because then everyone's going to be chasing Randy Orton. He doesn't want
Who's
that
going to
headache.
chase Randy Orton if he's as hot as he
Everybody,
is right now?
hey, everybody is, because if you can beat Randy Orton for that title, that means something.
I get it. I
And here's
mean,
the thing: do you think Randy Orton wants to throw that thing in his bag and go from town to town with it?
well, now you're talking about the outside fan stuff. I'm talking about literally if I'm watching this and I'm supposed to suspend disbelief, why isn't he
Yeah,
going for
yeah. That's all I can think of is he doesn't want the hassle.
it?
That's what, and I could see him in the promo saying, "I don't care about this. I'm the Legend Killer. I've beaten Ric
Right.
Flair. I beat the Undertaker.
Right.
I've beaten everybody. You
I mean,
know,
because I still hear you talking out loud. I can still hear your voice when Miz was a tag team champion and in IC or United States. I don't remember which one it was, but that's when they were carrying around both brands tag team champions. That dude
yep,
had 3 belts. You told
yes, he
us it
did.
was all a rib because
It
he had
was
to
a
keep
rib
checking
on the
that
myth,
stuff. Yeah.
because when you have to now have when you have 2 or 3 belts in your bag, and the average belt weighs about 12 to 15 pounds, and you only get a 45 to 50 pound weight limit in your bag, and that knocks your bag up. Now you got to pay extra for it. That's the rib right there.
So is that what they're doing to the girls right now? I mean, Sasha and
No,
Bailey,
I don't think so. I mean,
because they're not traveling, obviously.
if they fly in Southwest, they're getting 2 free bags. Yeah,
Honestly, they're probably leaving it at the PC and they just go home to the hotel or
exactly,
wherever they're going.
exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, that's been rattling around in my empty head, my meathead. That's been rattling around in my head for a while. I'm like, man, Dave did say that. Boy, they were really getting it to Miz when he had to carry around 3 belts all the time.
Yes,
What
they
about these
did.
poor girls?
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure that the girls just leave him there.
Probably, probably. I mean, at least, at the very least, coming up this Sunday at the pay-per-view, we got a lot of gimmick matches, a lot of specialty matches.
There's
You know,
3 of them. There's
yeah.
3 cinematic matches they're gonna have on
Oof,
Sunday.
yikes. Oh man.
Like, shoot me.
We're gonna watch it and we're gonna pay attention and we're gonna tell you about it and we're gonna tell you how we feel about it. Like coming up this week, and this is the business part of the conversation. Coming up this week, I know we got Shane Helms on Thursday. You guys doing Be a Booker?
Absolutely. We're actually going to do We the Booker for Extreme Rules and Impact Wrestling's Slammiversary.
Slammiversary Saturday night.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, so we
Yes.
got Be the Booker for Slammiversary and Extreme Rules. We've got the conversation with Shane, on everything else. We've got the Primetime The Big Show on Saturday with all the associates. I saw Drew, I saw Jason, I saw Linda.
Yep.
We never know who's going to show up. I know that I'll be putting out a video giving you a PWR draft update. I still lead. I don't even know if you guys are back there at all. I'm just in the front, so I don't really look back behind me.
Uh-huh.
So we've got a lot of content coming up, folks. Make sure you're liking and subscribing to these videos. Like I said, it's working. We're getting the word out again. PWR.
And hey, don't forget Thursday with Shane. Damien and Shane will have the final tally and results if it's purple or grape flavored Kool-Aid.
Ooh, do I get a vote in that?
Absolutely.
It's purple. Dude.
It's so funny. I had no idea, and it's just like I didn't know. And Damien says it's grape, and Shane says it's purple, and everyone's calling it purple, which is pretty fun.
Not only is it purple, I actually was more into orange and red.
I'm sure you were.
You drink the color, not the flavor.
You bastard! I get it.
You drink the color, not the flavor. What part of the hood are you from? Because that's how it was for me.
I'm from Grafton.
Yeah, never mind, folks. Folks that don't know, Grafton is where the money is. North.
No. It's the suburbs, 20 miles north of Milwaukee. Don't say
I'm from the mean streets of Bayview, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
All right, for David here on the Man They Call Meathead, thanks for stopping by, guys. So long, everyone.